Wait. Wait. Discounted Panda Express. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Do they have discounts today? Dodgers win. Can I use that on Uber Eats or is that just on their app? Local only, bitch! I'm not in California! How dare you fucking tease me like that? What the hell? Do I look like a Californian to you? Do I look like I'm from California to you? Hello! Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Don't answer. What the fuck do you mean? The fuck do you mean? I am not from California. But hello, everybody. My name is Monet. I'll be from Monet, second generation. Caroline. Groovy, funky, retro, cutie, Monet. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be for you. How are you feeling today? A little sad. I really wanted to make mapo tofu today for dinner. But it turns out I'm out of rice. Like, I guess I can still make it, but like, I want the rice. You know what I mean? I want rice. I have the tofu, I have the beef, I have the sauce. I want the rice. You know? I want to eat it with rice. Sorry, my throat's a little weird today. But I'm out of rice, so I just gotta wait till I get groceries today. And I really wanted rice because I wanted. Okay, I have natto. I do have water. I just drink water. I have a bunch of natto in my fridge, and I haven't eaten it. And I was like, okay, you know, I woke up today and I was like, all right, I want to eat some natto today. Like, I'm craving it today. Some hot steamed rice, you know, some natto. It's gonna be a good lunch, right? It's gonna be a real good lunch. My cool burgers for dinner was 5:30. Your time started getting dark out. No! Did I just drool? Maybe? I don't know. My mouth is a little wet. I don't know. I literally just ate. I just like ate my breakfast in a rush. So my mouth might be more like salivaty. You know? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, hello! Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed today because yeah, I was like digging through my fridge. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna eat? You know, like what am I gonna eat for like brunch? Like breakfast, lunch. I've been waking up really late. So lately it's like lunch when I wake up, right? So I was like, fuck, you know, like I wanted some natto and rice, and I don't have any rice. I wanted to make mapo tofu for dinner, I don't have any rice. So I grabbed like a cup. I grabbed like the cup of Icelandic yogurt that's been sitting in my fridge that I've been kind of avoiding for like a week. It wasn't very good. I think there's only one brand of Icelandic yogurt that I like. Because, like, otherwise it's just too sour. And then, instead I ended up making just, like, breakfast tacos. I had some tortillas and I had some eggs. You know, you put them both together. And you have breakfast tacos. It was easy. It was easy. But hello, happy Tuesday. I have a lot of meetings today. So today's stream is gonna be pretty short. So I am sorry, but I figured, you know, I've been seeing that, like, you know, 10 games that define me, whatever, meme going around on Twitter a lot. And I kept thinking, like, well, why not do it on stream? I think it'd be more fun, right? Like, why not do this on stream? Like, why not? I can talk about the games, you know, we can kind of like talk about video games. I don't know, I like talking about games with you guys. So I thought it was a good opportunity, right? I wasn't gonna stream today because like 2 meetings in a day, like back to back, like it wears me out, man. It wears me out. And I have a feeling one of the meetings is gonna go overtime. So, 2 meetings is brutal. See, I feel like anybody that works in an office is probably sitting in their chair right now, being like, 2 meetings? This girl doesn't know what hard work is. Well, it's true. I hate working. I hate meetings. Are you surprised? Are you telling me you like meetings too? You telling me you love meetings also? Hey. Are you telling me you love to be in meetings? Is that what you're trying to imply? Like that you love being in meetings all day long? Huh? Huh? It's like, even when I'm sitting there quietly, I don't know, it's like there's a big difference between me sitting at my computer in silence, you know, for an hour, and me sitting at my computer in silence for an hour in a meeting, you know? The stream is your meeting. Damn, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about the games. I think most of you probably already have like some guesses for what some of my top 10 games would be, but you may be surprised. I think there's some games that I've been thinking about this, right? Like all day and yesterday too. I think there's some games that you might not know that I love so much. You know? You know? Am I a Towel Kit truther? I've never played Towel Kit, sorry. I've never played it. Oh, hello! Welcome back! Hello. Is, M-San? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Welcome back! Alright, so let's get to it. So we don't have much time. We don't have that much time. So, obviously, I think the very first one, right? Everybody knows. Hold on, I'm trying to get them. Obviously, everybody knows the first game is Dot Hack. And personally, right? I consider IMOQ, right? The first 4 games, like I consider them one game, technically, right? I consider them. Oh, my twin tails! My twin tails! I consider these games, you know, like one entity, right? So they are one entity. These games had just like a complete hold on me as like a team, you know? I think it was kind of like one and the only like RPG that I really got into. And you know what's funny? Is that growing up, I only ever played the very first volume. I couldn't defeat the boss. I couldn't defeat Scathe in volume 1. I think it's pretty. Anybody that's played .hack knows, right? But like the final boss in the very first game is Scathe, right? But he's like an infected version of Scathe, and he is basically he doesn't take damage, and you have to figure out how like he doesn't take damage, but like he does. Like he doesn't, but he does. You know what I mean? Like in the UI. It makes it look like he's not taking any damage, and you don't get to know how much damage you've done on him. Every attack that you put on him just comes out as 0. But it turns out that little by little you are taking damage away from him. Like you are doing damage on him, rather. And honestly, yeah, before you figure out the game, like, it seems like an impossible boss. You're just like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? So when I was a kid, I didn't have the patience. I gave up. I was like, I can't do this. This is too hard. Like, I can't defeat this. Obviously, as I got older, right, and I replayed all the games, you know, I was able to do it. .hack is a hard series, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, .hack, they are hard games. They are grindy games. They are hard games. The fights are hard. The dungeons can be really hard. It is a hard game, but I really like it. I really like it. And part of the reason I like this game so much is just like the way that it really simulates kind of like it's everything else around the game that makes me love it so much. It's the fake forums, the fake news, the fake TV shows. It's like this entire world that they've built around the fake MMO. It's a thing that's always made .hack stand out for me. Like from like things like Sword Art Online or stuff like that, right? Like .hack has always kind of been more about what's happening outside of the game. And the game is kind of just a vehicle for these characters to kind of talk, right? Yeah. Are you considering playing this patient 2-game franchise members only content? Maybe. Last time I played it, it took me about 100 hours to finish 4 games. So I don't know. I'm a little intimidated of like streaming, you know, the game because it takes a very long time. It's a very long game. But yeah, I really love the kind of like near future, you know, like it's grounded in reality, but it's still sci-fi kind of environment that .hack builds, and I'll always really love it. I'll always really love it. And the game we played yesterday kind of just reminded me of the same kind of concepts, you know? I love the characters, and I played tons of MMOs. Yeah, near future, like, that's the kind of sci-fi I like. Sci-fi, but like, it happens, you know, in 20 years from now, kind of thing, rather than 100 years from now, or 1,000 years from now, right? It's like that sci-fi that feels like yeah, like this could be tomorrow, you know? This could be in 5 years, kind of thing. Yeah. I like that kind of thing a lot. It's tech that could exist, but it's not. It doesn't, kind of thing. You know, it's a more kind of grounded in reality, kind of thing. Yeah. So that brings me to the next game. Let's see, what's a good picture to represent this? I think this might be a good one. Some of these games didn't exactly have covers like that, so it's hard to say. But I think this is a good one. So obviously, I have loved MMOs my entire life. A big part of it was that they were free. A lot of MMOs were free to play. And so as a kid, my absolute obsession. Absolute obsession was Ragnarok Online. You know how some kids get obsessed with Sonic? You know, like how some kids get obsessed with, I don't know, fucking Mega Man or like stuff like that, right? For me, it was RO. I found out about Ragnarok Online when I was about 9-10 years old, and I became obsessed. Like, this was my childhood obsession. The funny thing is that my computer couldn't run this game at first, which is so funny because Ragnarok Online at the time was like about, I think it was like 500 megs, like 500 megabytes, like less than a gig download, and it required minimum 1 gig of RAM. Like, it wasn't, you know, like, that's to kind of put it in perspective, you know, like what the tech was like back then. And I couldn't play it because my computer back then only had like, I think 500 something megabytes of RAM, and I did not have enough storage, you know? Like, it was a really big game. I remember, and then at the same time, like, my internet was like basically dial-up at the time. Hello! My internet was basically dial-up at the time, right? I didn't have dial-up, but it might as well have been. I think I had like 1.5 megabit speed internet. Like, it was very slow, right? And I would beg my mom for faster internet, but she was like, "You don't need it. Like, we don't need it. It's fine. What we have right now is fine." I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I remember like 1 gigabyte back then was like, you had to leave your computer downloading that for an entire week straight. You know? Like, that's how long it took to download a gig. And so instead, I remember, like, straight up what I have a friend, Soleil, that funny enough, we met on RO when we were kids. When we were like both like, I don't know, like 10 or 11, something like that. And I remember asking her, like, or I don't remember if she offered, but she straight up, like, one time that I had to re-download the game, it was actually faster for her to burn a CD with it, mail it to me, and she lived on the other side of the country at the time, like, and like she had to mail it to me, and then I got the CD that way, and that was literally faster than downloading the game, right? But that was the kind of obsession, right? That was the kind of obsession I had with this game. Like, during the time that I couldn't play it, instead I like went into the website, I read every single bit of lore on the website, you know, because like the website had like all the classes and all the monsters and stuff like that, lore about all the cities and things like that. I would read about that everywhere, you know. When there were girls on the playground pretending to be horse girls, right? Like, I was playing pretend Ragnarok Online in my head. Like, it was like that. It was like that. And higher or private servers though? Well, I think the answer is obvious, right? The answer is obvious. I was a kid whose parents never were willing to spend money on video games. So basically, if I got my hands on something back then, it basically had to be very, very cheap, or it had to be free, right? So I would play on private servers all the time. I would play Ragnarok Online a lot with actually the girl that went on to become the artist and designer, character designer for Ruby and several other things. She went on to become a really famous artist. It's very cool. I always think about it a lot. No, I didn't play Atlantis Sorrow. I have played countless private servers in my life. I am sorry, Gravity, if you were listening to this. But I mean, that shouldn't surprise him anyway. I have played like just like tense, like just like, I don't know. Yeah. Amy, yeah. We used to play together when we were kids. Yeah. I was like, I admired her so much as a kid. It was awesome. Well, when I look back on it, I'm like, man, I was probably so annoying. But you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, I played on private servers. just whatever private server I could get my hands on, right? Yeah. And I think I only ever played IRL like a couple times. Like, when I finally got my hands on it, like, it was literally my entire life, you guys. Like, this game was my entire life for so much. And this is where, like, my brooding kind of began when I was younger, right? I would just, like, sit there. I would go to, like, a certain spot and just sit there and brood. And just, like... Yeah, those are my fondest memories. We're, like, sitting around. I remember I joined a guild. And, I was the kind of player... I hated grinding. I did not give a fuck about leveling. I'm gonna be real. All I wanted was to have a cute character, have cute headgear, and just sit around town and just look cool and talk to people. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted it for the social aspect. Like, my entire social life as a kid was in these MMOs, right? It was in these MMOs. And so a big part of it too, between Ragnarok Online, where's the... No, not the PS2 version. Where's my version? Here we go. Yes! My other obsession when I got a little older was Final Fantasy XI. I actually, this one I did play on official servers. I did actually play on official servers. I had to beg some of my friends to like, you know, like buy me a subscription, or like whenever they would have like the trial, right? Like the free subscription for 30 days. And then I remember I would like beg my friends. I was like, please, 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 please give me a subscription, right? And I played the hell out of Final Fantasy XI. So much. So much. I played Ragnarok Online and Final Fantasy XI are by far, like, you know, the MMOs I played the most. I didn't really play RuneScape. I didn't play World of Warcraft. I thought World of Warcraft was too cartoony, and RuneScape, I didn't know how to play it. Like, I tried playing it one time at the library, and it didn't click. It was all about the looks for me. It was all about the aesthetic, you know? A lot of people at the time didn't like Final Fantasy XI. It had a bad reputation because people could, like, back then, right? The two biggest MMOs were like Final Fantasy XI and World of Warcraft. Well, there was other stuff. There was what, like, there was Guild Wars. Guild Wars was pretty popular. What else? There was, like, I think some people still played fucking, what was it called? EverQuest? There was a bunch of other games, right? But, like, yeah, RuneScape has been around this whole time, right? But, like, oh yeah, there was Eve. But, like, as far as these kind of, like, games, right? It was, like, Final Fantasy XI versus WoW. And I was a little weeaboo growing up, right? And so, you can already guess... Oh yeah, Lineage! Yeah. You can already guess that, you know, like, I didn't give a fuck about WoW, right? I was like, this stuff looks like cartoons, you know? I want the stuff that looks Japanese, you know? You know? You met a person who played Final Fantasy XI on PS2. Yeah, my best friend, the same friend that sent me the Ragnarok Online CD, Soleil. She got me into Final Fantasy XI. Because she had it on her PS2, and she would send me screenshots to my email. That was the only way you could, like... You know, this is, like, before you could really, like, share images on any... On, like... This was when... Okay. This was back when we were on IRC. When, like, my main form of talking to people was on IRC. And IRC did not have image sharing. And so... she would send screenshots from her PS2 directly to my email. And then that's how she would share her screenshots with me, and I would be like, dude, I need to play this so fucking bad, because like the style of Final Fantasy XI was like the closest thing to dot hack I had ever seen. And I still think it's that way. Like I still think like Final Fantasy XI is like the closest thing we have ever gotten to getting dot hack as a real MMO. Like the aesthetics are very similar. Obviously the story's different, right? But like the feel of it, like that kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like that kind of fantasy, but like it has, I don't even know how to describe it. You know how like Final Fantasy's like genre of fantasy kind of is, where it's like, it feels like a very rooted in nature kind of thing, you know? I don't know how to describe it, but I really liked it. I really liked it, and I played a ton. My main was a red mage. I would stay up all night long. One time, I got grounded, and my mom banished me back to Mexico. Yeah, European Magitech is a really good name for it. Yeah. Thank you, Corin! You've thought long and hard about what makes me like Ragnarok so much, more than other MMOs. I think it's the hit stop and reeling animations. They just don't have, other MMOs just don't have any impact. I do think so. Hi! Yeah, I had a red mage, which was really cool because, you know, you have your white mages that do healing, you have your black mages that do like elemental magic. But red mages were like focused on buffs and debuffs, right? So I always felt like I was really essential in a party. It was really fun. It was super cool. And I spent so much time playing Final Fantasy XI. So much time. It was very, very fun. Yeah, to me the 4-dot hack games count as one. Also, hola Rey Felix! Bienvenido! So... these are red mazes, weaponized indecision. See, to me, it was like... I felt so essential because having me in your party made a lot of things way easier. Like, it made things a lot easier. It was like, and I could heal also, so I could also like be the backup healer, and I could also like, I don't know, I felt really cool. And at the time, I liked being kind of healer class. Nowadays, I kind of like, if I play an MMO nowadays, I like being like DPS or tank more. But back then I liked being healer. Hablo español, sí, bienvenido. So yeah, that was my obsession. I played Final Fantasy 14 1.0. And I liked it. Everybody else says that they don't like 1.0. I stopped playing once they restarted. You spent so much time playing that game, you got in trouble with your mother. No, okay, yeah, I did get cut off telling that story. Sorry. So, one time, I got in trouble with my mom. Like, I got in deep trouble with my mom. And she banished me to Mexico for a summer. To go live with my dad in Mexico. To go live with my dad and his family. And, I didn't have a computer. All I had was, like, my dad's wife's laptop that they let me borrow, right? And I managed to install Final Fantasy XI on it. It managed to run. And so I would stay up until like 6 in the morning. And I was super bummed out, right? Because it was summer. I was like 16, 17, right? And my friends were like going on a camping trip and everything. And I was stuck in Mexico. I was fucking stuck in Mexico, like angry, angsty, you know, just like betrayed that my mom would fucking banish me to Mexico, right? So I would stay up, yeah, until 6 in the morning playing Final Fantasy XI, and then drinking the wine. There was like a sweet wine that my dad had in the fridge, and I would just like go sneak into the kitchen late at night, And Dad's wife doesn't make it my stepmom. Does it? I don't know. My parents are divorced, so I don't know. But yeah, I would go get like a bunch of wine. It was like this like sweet wine that they would sell at Walmart, and I would just like drink that, get underage drunk, and play Final Fantasy 11 all night long, baby, all night long. And then my dad's house had like a maid that would come by in the mornings and clean everything. And she would show up around that time, like 6, 7 in the morning. She would show up and clean, and so I would just like, I'd still be playing. I would literally like when I would hear her coming into the room, I would just like close the laptop and like pretend to be asleep. And then the moment she left, I would just turn it back on. I would just open the laptop again. And that's just like, that's how I spent that entire summer. Was just playing Final Fantasy 11. That lady was sweet. She was a sweet maid, right? She was a sweet cleaning lady. She was nice. But I was very angsty, and I did not want to be in Mexico at the time. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to be home. I wanted to be on my own stuff, you know? So yeah, these two games were really big for me. These games were kind of my social life, aside, you know, outside of school. You know, outside of like school back then. These games were my social life. And especially Ragnarok Online was like, it was really kind of like my childhood. For Halloween one year, I remember me and my best friend from school, I got her into Ragnarok Online when we were like in like 5th grade, and her mom made us Halloween costumes, cosplaying from the game. We were super novices. Let me see if I can pull up the sprite so you can see it. Yeah, here we go. Okay. We were super novices for Halloween. It was very cute. This is what they look like. So we kind of like, she made us little like, you know, little scuffy costumes like this. And we were this for Halloween. It was very cute. She made us little pouring plushies. So like, it's Ragnarok Online has and will always be a part of my life. I always go back to playing this kind of stuff. Like every couple years, I feel like once a year, I go back to playing RO. Like, did anyone recognize it? Of course not. Of course not. Nobody recognized it. It was such a fucking niche costume, and we were little 5th grade girls. You know? Of course no one recognized it. And the costumes weren't really even made that accurately either, you know? Like, her mom knew how to sew, but it wasn't anything like super recognizable. Like, it didn't exactly look like this, you know? Like, it just only barely looked like this. So yeah, I really can't, like, I really can't state enough how much like Dot Hack, Ragnarok, and Final Fantasy 11 were kind of like the big things for me growing up. Like, it is like completely, these 3 games like have really kind of like cemented my taste in a lot of things. Just a lot of the things I like. I grew up with these a lot, you know? Did I ever do a drunk playing some kind of game stream for members only? I don't remember what the rules are for us for games and members. I don't remember. I need to double check. It's been a while. It's been a while. I also haven't really been in the mood to drink much lately, to be honest with you guys. to be real honest with you guys, you know. So aside from these, I want to talk about another game that also was like my best friend growing up. Alright, so here we go. Come on, let me save image. Come on, let me save image. Let me save image, please. Come on. Let me save, please. Let me save, please. Please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Oh my god, my internet's being really slow. Did I ever play Kingdom Hearts games? Yeah, I did. I played them with my sister. That's 6 games out of 10. No! Dot hack counts as 1. The dot hack, the 4 games, they count as 1. Because they're one... It's basically just a 4-disc game. That would, like... That's like considering every disc of FF7 a different game. You know? I played Kingdom Hearts with my sister growing up. I never got super into the other games. I've never seen the RO anime. I haven't seen it. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to take a fucking screenshot of this, I guess, because it doesn't want to let me save it. Come on. Will we see non-RPGs though? I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So the next game I want to talk about is Taiko no Tatsujin DS Tachide Okodon for the DS. It's Taiko Drum Master for the DS. I played the fuck out of this game. I played this game probably for thousands of hours. Absolute thousands of hours. I had a DS. But my mom got me a DS for Christmas one year after much begging, right? But she didn't want to buy me any games. And so me being the little pirate kid I was, I discovered the existence of the R4 flashcards. And if you don't know what that is, it was a little DS flashcard you could get. You could put a little micro SD card in it and load up the ROMs into it, and it would play on your DS. And so the gaming world was at my fingertips, you know? The gaming world was at my fingertips, and I played every single DS game I could find and I could get my hands on. I played so much of every DS game. So the DS is one of the consoles I'm like the most attached to personally. Hi, howdy, welcome. And I was always really curious about Taiko no Tatsujin. And so this was like a permanent mainstay on my DS. I would play this game basically every waking moment I had. Walking to the bus to school, I'd be playing this. Walking home from the bus, I'd be playing this. During recess, I'd be playing this. At night, I'd be playing this. Before bed, I'd be playing this. Basically, any idle waking moment I had, I would be playing this, and I got to the point that I could play like all the songs on the hardest difficulties with my eyes closed. And I still have the muscle memory for the majority of these songs, I'm not gonna lie. I still have the majority of like all of these songs just like burnt into my brain. Like when I would go on vacation, this was like the only game I would take. Like I cannot state how much of this game I played. I played so much of it. And I played a lot of Japanese games for the DS. I played a ton. It would take so long, you know, to talk about all the other games. Yeah, I played Elite Beat Agents, I played Osatakai Wendan also. I played both of them. But for me, something that was always really unique about Taiko is that like it's one of the DS one specifically, it's one of the only rhythm games that I ever kind of like played and like preferred kind of like the controller inputs for it, because you know how like Taiko's a game that you're supposed to play. If you've ever seen it in an arcade, right? You're supposed to play it hitting the drumsticks on the drums, right? And you could do that on the DS with your styluses, right? However, I would do it with my fingers, and you could do it physically on the DS, but it would fuck up your screen. It was so bad for your screen. Like, anybody that ever played Elite Beat Agents on your DS, right? Like, you remember that part where you have to spin? You have to, like, spin during a song. You have to, like, spin your stylus super fast. And it would scratch the fuck out of your DS. And it was Taiko DS was the same way. Like, it would, like, fuck up your DS if you played it with the stylus. Yeah, it would just, like, absolutely kill the screen if you played it with your stylus. So I got really into just playing it with the controls, right? Cause like I would play, like, you know, the red drums would be like the buttons on the front, like either like A or B or like the side buttons or whatever. And then the blue buttons, like the blue drums, would be the shoulder buttons. And I got really good at that, you know? Like I got super good at it. And this was just like my everyday game as a kid. Like I've played the other ones. There was another DS game, what was it? Nanatsu no Shima no Daiboken, I think? Was that it? Yeah, it was Nanatsu no Shima no Daiboken. It was the second DS game for Taiko no Tatsujin. And it was the same game, just different songs, you know, like a different set list of songs. I really loved it though. This is really honestly one of my favorite games, and I've spent so much time just like looking at this like lineup of games so far. It's filling me with so much like happy chemicals in my brain. Just like looking at this is like, yeah, this is me. These are my games. Like, these are absolutely my games. So what else? I guess I have to just talk about rhythm games for a little bit right now. Obviously I've always been a rhythm game fan. For a long time, I considered rhythm games like my top favorite genre of games. So, obviously, I think DDR Extreme deserves a spot on this list. Straight up. The RPG part was neat. Oh, in Nanatsu no Shima no Daiboken for Taiko, yeah, it actually was kind of neat. It was kind of cool. I kind of liked it. I'm surprised anybody remembers that part. Hi, Desmond. Thank God it's not been my... I did play Poppin' and 2DX growing up, but not nearly as... I don't have as much of a connection with them as I do DDR, personally. And a big part of that is that my local arcade had DDR Extreme, and that's the only, like, rhythm game it had. I had DDR Extreme, and I would just take my, you know, whatever little money I had as a kid, and I would take the bus, and I would go to the arcade, and I would just play this all day long. All day long. It was like one of the first rhythm games I, like, really ever played, right? I only ever played this in the arcades. I didn't really play the other versions as much. DDR Extreme is always like, this is always my DDR, you know? This is my DDR. This is my baby. This is my DDR game. I loved all the songs. It's still like the sound of like just like the buttons when you press select and the startup screen and everything. I was never that good. Like, I was never as good as a lot of my friends, but I was really into it. And I put it here because For a really long time as a kid, I was really obsessed with Stepmania, which was basically just like, you know how like Osu, you know what like Osu is to like Elite Beat Agents? Stepmania was that for like DDR. It was just like kind of like a PC version of DDR that you could put custom stuff into and play at home on your keyboard or with a controller, right? And I got stupidly into Stepmania. So it's like it's in between putting DDR and Stepmania on here, right? Because like I might have played more Stepmania than DDR personally, but they are the same game, so I put them in here together, right? But I played so much Stepmania on my controller. Yeah, that game probably gave me carpal tunnel. Yeah. I played the hell out of it. It is like I remember like my mom got me like a better computer at one point when I was younger. First thing I did was play Stepmania on it. I would go to the LAN cafe across the street when my mom grounded me and took my computer away, and I would go to the LAN cafe across the street to go play Stepmania. I would just put all my favorite songs in a USB drive or something, and I would just go play Stepmania over there. I was obsessed with it. Like, just like I had all the patterns down. I loved that kind of rhythm game. Yeah, they still have dance pads for that. Yeah. I always wanted to get more into rhythm games like 2DX and Poppin' Music. But obviously those were games that didn't really come to the West. Like there was an English release of Beatmania, but you know. There was also an English release of Taiko on the PS2, but it sucked. All the songs are different. Like, it's the songs that make these games extra good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play Taiko no Tatsujin to fucking Michael Jackson's Thriller. You know, like, I want to play it to fucking video game music or anime stuff or Namco originals. You know, like, I don't want to play it to, to that shit. You know. Like, I'm not trying to play the Taiko drum to Michael Jackson, you know? And I always really liked 2DX, and I always really wanted to get into Poppin' Music. I still do. But it was harder to, because it was really rare to find those games in arcades. And then, in college, like later in high school and in college, finally we had an arcade near, it was kind of nearby, right? That had a poppin' machine. But my friends that I would go with, one of them was a poppin' nerd, so they would always be on the poppin' machine. And so I didn't get a chance to play, you know? I never had a chance to play because the machine was always taken up. So I never was able to get into Poppin', right? Like I would play a couple times and I loved it, but I never got a chance to get into it. So I would just play DDR or Taiko instead. Cause like, see, the beautiful thing about being a Taiko fan is that nobody gives a fuck about Taiko, and so you can go to like any round 1 in the world, and the Taiko machine will usually always be empty. There's always gonna be some tryhard on 2DX. There's always gonna be some tryhard on like all the other machines, right? But nobody ever gives a fuck about Taiko. And the only time, like, it's so, like, my favorite thing about going to the arcade is that, like, you go to round 1 or like any arcade with Taiko, right? And there'll always be, like, there'll be some couple on a date, and they'll be like, oh my god, babe, this little drum game looks so fun. Oh my god, do you wanna play the drums with me? Oh my god, babe, let's play this one. And then they boot up Taiko, right? They put in the credits, they play a song on like easy or medium or something like that, and then they don't know what the fuck to do, and then they just walk away like mid-song, and that's when I snoop in. That's when I dash in, and I get myself a free play. It has happened so many times. so many times. It is almost a guarantee anytime I go to the arcade that I can get a free Taiko play because some fucking couple, either some couple or like, you know, a parent and their kid will try and play it and they'll give up midway. They'll just be like, oh, this is lame, whatever, right? It is almost a guarantee that it'll happen anytime I go to the arcade. So I always get at least one free round of Taiko. Which is nice because the arcade Taiko is a little strict. It only gives you two songs, and then the mini game to get the third song is like so fucking hard. I don't know how people do it. I can never do it. I can never get the third song. Yeah. Like people give up mid-song, so you always get free Taiko. A lot of the times it would happen a lot with DDR. Nowadays it doesn't happen with DDR. Nowadays the only people that go up to the DDR machines are like people that like know how to play it, right? But like nobody ever touches Taiko. Taiko is the loneliest rhythm game to be into. It's so sad. It is so sad. It is so sad, but I love it so much. I love it so much. I still play it when I go to arcades. I had my pride and joy when I was in Japan, and I went to a Taiko machine, and I just like, I played the hell out of it, and I had like people watching me, and I felt like those cool people, you know, and like when people are really good at a rhythm game and like a crowd forms around them, that was me, and I felt like the coolest person in the world. I felt like the absolute coolest person in the world. So speaking of rhythm games, ooh.
I want to play Taiko with Monososhi Kamberateme for being bad at the game.
Okay, you know what though? It would absolutely happen because you can't pick separate difficulties in Taiko. If you play with two people, both people have to play the same difficulty. So if you are playing with somebody that doesn't know how to play the game, you're fucked. You just have to play on easy for them, and it's boring. So whenever anybody wants to play with me, I'm like, all right, you know, like you're gonna have to play. Oh, is it not that way in the newest ones? See, all the arcades I've ever been to only have old versions of the game, so I've never gotten to play the new ones in arcades because like they always have the old ones. Does Fightcade have Taiko? No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think Osu has a Taiko, doesn't it? Like, Osu has a Taiko version or something like that. Has a Taiko mode. I've never bothered with it because like, for me, it's like the songs that Namco chooses in there. Because like Taiko will always have a lot of Idolmaster songs. It'll always have a lot of like original stuff, Monster Hunter songs and stuff like that. Oh, which brings me to the other big one. Brings me to the other big one, of course. This one's hard to say that like, you know, it like really kind of like defined me because I actually never played this game. I understand they've changed them slightly since you might want to find an arcade that has a more modern console. I am sorry to tell you, man, but like finding an up-to-date rhythm game in the US is like impossible unless it's like 2DX or something like that. It is impossible. Nobody ever has like, there's only like one arcade in my entire state, and like it has a super old version. Like it's already hard enough to find an arcade in the US, you know? Are you gonna have the moment content not played Iron Master? Okay, hear me out, right? I've played some of the other Idolmaster games. I have never played this one in specific because I never had an Xbox. I never had an Xbox and I never had an Xbox 360. Right? However, that didn't stop me from watching every single cutscene watching every single like dance, getting obsessed with the songs, memorizing every dance to all the songs I like. Like everything. I was completely obsessed with Idolmaster as a kid, right? Like, this is one of the big top 3s for me. Idolmaster, Dot Hack, and Ragnarok Online. Probably the big top 3s in my life, right? Every song, I was obsessed with every character. I kept up with everything. I watched the concerts, everything. This was like the franchise that I was completely obsessed with. And to this day, I still like this cast the most. I played a lot of Starlight Stage, a ton of it. I have played a ton of like the newer like mobile Idolmaster games. But I was really young. I was like, I don't know, like 13. I don't know, maybe not 13. I don't remember how young I was when I first got into Idolmaster. But I didn't have access to the consoles. You know, I never had an Xbox. I never had access to this stuff. So that one's going on there because I love Idolmaster so much. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 more games. Easy. I already have 2 more that I want to mention. And I gotta speed it up a little because we're on limited time. Otherwise, I would spend hours. Hours. You ever consider doing a concert featuring some of the songs? I'm gonna be honest with you, I appreciate your very enthusiastic manager output, but things are a little rough in my company right now. So it's not like that right now. It doesn't work like that for us. I'm sorry. Things are a little rough right now. I'm sorry. Like, there's a lot of things that you're recommending that, like, yeah, would be cool, but they're just not doable at the moment, you know? I appreciate it, but, you know... Namco's really anal about the music. I've always really like Namco. You know, you can call them Scamco. You can diss on them as much as you want. Like, yeah, Namco, they're kind of shitbags sometimes. Not gonna lie, right? But I love them. I can't help it. Namco's got me by the titties. You know, I can't help it. Like it's like an abusive relationship that I have with Namco, you know? Like, they're so mean. Like, they're shitbags, but they're my shitbags. Exactly, you know? They're shitbags, but like, man, you know, they I just can't help it, you know? Like, they make good stuff, and their games have cool, like, they have cool music, they have everything. They're just, you know, I hate them, but I love them. It's an absolute love-hate relationship with Namco, you know? And I wish, yeah, Scamco does hate money. I wish they would take my money. If they had ever released anything in English for the Idolmaster, oh, I would have been all over it. Same with, like, I mean, they did release Taiko stuff eventually in the West, right? But like anything music related that Namco has ever been like affiliated with has always been really good. They've always had really good music. I don't know if you guys know this, but a big chunk of modern day Idolmaster music in like the last 10 years is actually produced by Iosis. You know, the same groups that did, you know, all the like famous Touhou Dojin music. A lot of it is Iosis, and a lot of it is like nowadays it's like pretty popular like producers and stuff like that. The music in Idolmaster has always been really good, and that's why like I've always preferred Idolmaster over Love Live. Like, Love Live, it's cute, it's fine, it's whatever. Love Live never really appealed to me, right? Like, yeah, okay, whatever, they're school idols, whatever. It's the music! It's the fucking music! If you're an idol and you make shitty music, I don't give a fuck! Sorry, I got really passionate about that, but... but it's true! If you're an idol and your music sucks, I don't give a fuck! You know? Your music's gotta be good. Your visuals have gotta be good. You know? Like that's just how I feel. You know, what's the point? What's the point? You know? Anyway. If Viral Master would have been more localized to English, I'd probably be in a different life path right now. Yeah, me too, honestly. Honestly. What's another game? Oh yeah. I cannot skip this one. This one's a big one for me. I cannot skip this one. Another rhythm game. A lot of these are gonna be rhythm games, actually. A lot of these are gonna be rhythm games. Wait. The next game. Guitaruma. This is one of my favorite rhythm games ever. And actually, one of the reasons I consider this game to define me, aside from the fact that I've played this on stream. I have played this game on stream. I have streamed this game before. But so aside from the fact that I used to play this during high school lunch and everything, like non-stop, right? I had it on my PSP. I had Guitaruma Lives on my PSP, and I played the hell out of it. Part of this game was actually one of the things that kind of inspired me to stream, and it's a very special game in my heart because of it. My very first stream ever as an indie VTuber 5 years ago, back in 2020, was Guitaruma. My debut as an indie streamer was, you know, I did my usual debut stuff, and then the later half of the stream was I played all of Guitaruma in like an hour. I practiced it non-stop, because this is one of those games that, like, on normal mode, I can just play from beginning to end, like, you know, just like completely. I can basically speedrun it. So I show that off, right? But more importantly, one of the reasons I wanted to showcase it on that first stream, right, was because one of the between every stage that you finish in Guitaruma, you get a little motivational quote. The story of Guitaruma is that you have Yuan, who's kind of like, you know, just kind of like a loser kind of kid. He has this girl he has a crush on, but his girl is like totally being like stolen by the douchebag skater boy. You know, it's that kind of story, right? But through the power of his guitar, his magic guitar that, you know, he is kind of assigned as the chosen one, right? He builds up confidence and builds up courage to kind of like be his true self, to be confident in himself, and to get the girl, basically, right? It's a pretty simple story, but it's cute. But there's a quote in the game at the very end of the game that has always really stuck out to me, and I think about it a lot. It says, the heart has wings. I've taken the leap. Now it's your turn. And it was very symbolic for me at the time, because I've mentioned it before. Before I ever became a VTuber, I was a very quiet person online. And like, it really surprised everybody that knew me that I would ever become a streamer. Because they were like, what the fuck? You a streamer? Like, you would never be a streamer, you know? Like, you would never be a streamer. So yeah, it became a really symbolic game for me, and not to mention, I just love playing this game. I love the music in it. I love playing this game so much. So much. So, and here it goes. There it goes. I love Guitaruma with all my heart. Genuinely with all my heart, Guitaruma is just like, it's a feel-good game for me. It feels good, the music is good, the message is good, the art is wonderful. It's a game that like feels very, very much me, you know? It feels completely me. So I love this game a whole bunch. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 more games. 3 more games. Ah, the last 3 are gonna be hard because there's so many games I could go on here. Okay, I'm gonna talk about a game that a lot of you guys probably don't expect. This is a game I have not streamed yet. I've been meaning to. I own this game. No, I don't count Gaia or Neopets on here personally. This is a game that I don't see anybody talk about. Nobody speaks about this game. Nobody talks about it. Nobody streams it. But it's become so dear to my heart. The game is Lack of Love for the Dreamcast. This is a game, this was the very last game created by the developer team Lovedelic. They made Moon Remix RPG. They also made UFO A Day in the Life. And of course, Lack of Love for the Dreamcast. If you know this game, I think, like, if you've ever played this game, I think you kind of understand, like, the impact. This is one of those games that, like... It just, like, you finish it and you're just... It's one of those games that just kind of leaves you in silence. You know? Just absolutely leaves you in silence. So... This game was created, it was like kind of a collaboration between the main developer of Lovedelic, who I've played almost every single game that Lovedelic employees have ever put their hands on. They're one of my favorite developers ever. This was a collaboration between Lovedelic and the Japanese musician Ryuichi Sakamoto, who I'm a big fan of. Rest in peace, Ryuichi Sakamoto. Ryuichi Sakamoto was one of the members of Yellow Magic Orchestra, YMO. And YMO, they're kind of like it's hard to state how huge of an influence YMO has had on electronic music and video game music too. I could spend entire hours probably talking about their influence, but so Lack of Love is a kind of like a, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's almost like a Spore-like kind of game for the Dreamcast. It's very minimal. The plot is that you are basically a little like singular-celled organism, and there are aliens, like these weird little aliens, trying to find a planet to create their new habit in, basically. Basically, the story is that these aliens, their planet was destroyed, and so they're looking for a new planet. And so, in finding a new planet for themselves, they're kind of destroying your home. So it's kind of like, it's about this kind of like chain of destruction. It's a very environmentalist game. The whole kind of concept of the game is just about how you are... Not you're the little creature, but how you're kind of trying to escape from these aliens, turning your home into their home. It's kind of a complex feeling. It's hard, you know? And most of the time the game doesn't have any music. But when it does, it's such a like an impactful feeling. It's such an insane feeling. It is so fucking good. I have to play you guys the main theme from this. Cause I think I can't talk about Lack of Love without talking about it does have a dedicated P button. That's true, it does. It does have a dedicated P button. Hold on then. I know this is gonna get the stream demonetized, I don't give a fuck. But I have to play this song for you guys. I have to play this for you. Hold on. Let me put it on. As you can tell, the music in a game is a really big part of it for me. Like, music in a game is a huge part of it for me. Alright, I'm gonna take off the chatting BGM. I'm gonna turn on desktop audio. There we go. This is a song by Ryuichi Sakamoto called Lack of Love. It was made for this game. And I think it was last year. This is one of the most expensive video games I own now. This game goes for around $200. And last year I decided to splurge. I was like, you know what? I have to own this game. I have to own it. I need to have this game. That was my birthday gift to myself. Maybe a year, 2 years ago? I think it was like 2 years ago. I bought it for myself. That was like my birthday present. Yeah, it's just one of those games that like, I have to own this. Can you guys hear the music okay? It's very minimalist piano. Do you kind of pick up on that kind of somber feeling from it? You know? Like, do you pick up on kind of like the feeling that the song has? Like, it's a pretty minimalist piano piece. But it, like, you guys, like, when you play this game, it, like, I feel like this game is fucking life-changing. Like, it just leaves you with this feeling of like, holy shit, like it's one of those games that you're like, oh, this is art. Like, this is one of those games that's art, you know? I love this game, and nobody talks about this game. Nobody fucking talks about this game. And nobody plays it. Nobody plays this game, nobody talks about it. It is so fucking good. So this is definitely one of those games, you know, that like it definitely has defined me, because it just really, like, I don't know, it really like hammered for me what a lot of these games can really kind of be, you know? Sorry, I'm trying to organize all my stuff here. I'm sorry, I feel silly nerding out about like a piano song, but it's like it is incredible. It is incredible. It's just, and if you've never listened to Ryuichi Sakamoto music, I really recommend it. It is like he's literally one of the masters of Japanese music, in my opinion. Like, incredible, incredible, incredible. And Moon, yeah, Moon. If you ever get a chance to play Moon, Moon is translated into English. It is a very good game. It's by the same developers. The developers of this game only ever made 3 games. And the developers of these 3 games, were a big chunk of the team that made Super Mario RPG. So if that's a game that's dear to you, I really recommend checking out Moon Remix RPG. I really recommend it. I really recommend it. Really, really recommend it. I'm a little emotional talking about that. All right, we don't have that much time, so I gotta hurry up on the other one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 2 more games. Trying to think deeply. What else? Obviously, Unjammer Lammy needs to go on here. Yeah, of course, Unjammer Lammy. This is like Unjammer Lammy, like my attachment to Unjammer Lammy is not necessarily like very deep and emotional. I just fucking love this game. Like, you ever just play a game and as you're playing it, you're like, holy shit, I think this might be one of my top games, like top favorite games of all time. Like, this is the game I could play nonstop all day, every day. Like, I could just play this all the time and not get bored of it. I love this game. I love the visuals. I love the music. I love everything that Rodney Greenblatt puts his hands on. I love everything about it. It's just so good. It's just so good. It's just so good. Like, honestly, I like Unjammer Lammy more than Parappa. Personally, I like it more than Parappa. I love Parappa, the rapper. But yeah, this might actually be one of the best games ever made, personally. Like, I love Unjammer Lammy that much. I really love it that much. It's so good. It's just like, I've streamed it multiple times, and I will probably stream it again just because I love playing it all the time. It's just, it feels great to play all the time. So this one definitely has a big spot. Big spot right there. It's good. Like, it's just Unjammer Lammy. It's fun. It's silly. It's colorful. It's stylish. And I just kind of like, I don't know. I like these kind of games with like a simple story of just kind of like just believing yourself. You know, just like, you know, the guitar is in your mind. It's true. Like, sometimes you don't need anything crazy to just kind of like do what you need to do or what you want to do. Like, the guitar is in your mind. You can, if you believe, you can make anything happen, right? I feel that way genuinely about a lot of things in life. That like, if you really do believe, you can make it happen. Like, it's as long as your mind is in it, you can honestly make anything possible. Like, straight up, you know. And I do feel very, very legit about that fact, you know. I'm trying to think. Okay, what's the last game? There's a lot of things that could be in the last game for me. God. Yeah, Yume Nikki, you're right. You're right, yeah, Yume Nikki. Yeah. Boku, fuck, dude. Oh my god. Can I do like 11 games? Can I do like 12 games? I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I can't not put Boku on here. Hold on. I can't. Boku is such a fucking part of my life. I can't not put it here. It is such a fucking part of my life. I can't not include it. I have played a Boku no Natsuyasumi game every single year, every single summer for the last 6 years? Just like the last 6 years. I have played every single one of these games, and like, I'm on my second playthrough. I have played every single game in the Boku no Natsuyasumi series. All 4 of them. I've played the PS1, the PSP port as well. And I'm playing them all over again. I just finished, I finished the second one this summer. Next summer I'll play the third one. The summer after that I'll play the fourth one. And then I'll start again. I'll play the first one and the second one. I can't imagine a summer in my life without this game anymore. You know, that's just how it is. Like, this is one of those games that just has become like so essential. It's a tradition. It's my summer. It's like, this game is just like, it's what I look forward to every summer. Like, August August on the calendar always means Boku. It always means that. It's a game that's just always gonna be with me. I own the first 2 games physically. I'd like to buy the last 2 ones. I'm not like my video game collection isn't huge, but I like to own the games that mean a lot to me. And this is definitely one of them. This is definitely one of those. I'm gonna move this one up a little. Put this here. Okay, yeah. It shows your collection, yeah! I'll play the Shin-chan one someday, but I don't really care that much about Shin-chan. Like, I like Shin-chan, but I'm not attached. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not the same. It's not the same. I just really love Boku. Like, I've talked about it a lot during Boku streams, right? Of just how much I love it. But it's just really special. It's just a really special game. What can I say? You know, it's just an incredibly special game for me. And of course, I gotta talk about Yume Nikki, of course. There's so much fucking fan art of Yume Nikki. Here we go. Here's an official picture. Yeah, Shin-chan is a little too rambunctious for the Boku feel. To me, Boku has always been a game about, like, just kind of like that kind of calm moment, you know? It's always been about those calm moments. The fact that most of the game doesn't have music is also really, really important to me, in my opinion. Where do I put it? I guess I'll put it just big for now. We'll talk about it. So of course, Yume Nikki, one of the last ones. I might not be as much of an involved Yume Nikki fan as some other people. I haven't really played that many of the fan games. I know about a lot of them, but I haven't really played them, right? I've never made a fan game myself. You know, I wouldn't call myself the flavor of diehard fan that a lot of other Yume Nikki fans might call themselves, right? But I still really love this game, and it's still really important to me because the feeling that this game gave me the first time I played it is like something that it like basically kind of like defined my personality. Like, yeah, it was life-changing. Like, this game, when you play it, it's kind of life-changing. There's another game I want to put in here. Oh, does it only have to be 10 games? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, okay, but what's your Nasu score, nerd? Fuck, I forgot. What was my Nasu score? I don't remember. Playing Ragnarok online while lurking Melty Button, enjoying Yume Nikki in 2006. Quit being literally me, Mono. We probably... There's a chance we're literally in the same space as growing up, not gonna lie. Yeah, Yume Nikki, it's... I think a part of what really resonated about Yume Nikki with me too is that it has a lot of like Aztec and like Mayan kind of like influences in a lot of the art. And being, you know, being Mexican, right? Like that always really like resonated with me. It was always really cool. Like it made the game feel very connected with me. And I really always liked it for that. And obviously, you know, like just kind of like the feeling. Like there's been a lot of times in my life where I've felt kind of like Madotsuki, not gonna lie. So I really, really love this game. I'm gonna put this over here. Put it in the middle, or in the end, on the bottom, whatever. Okay, and maybe Oh gosh, what else? There's so many games I love. It's not fair. It's not fair. There's too many games that I love. And just looking at this like all these games is like filling me with so much like this happy chemical in my brain. It's like I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, this is me. Like, this is me. What about Fortnite? Die. Die. Oh gosh. I'm really trying to think of like, what else do I love that deserves a spot up here? There's a lot of games I love, but I'm just thinking like, what deserves a spot here? You know, obviously Touhou. I guess I will put Touhou on here because Touhou does define me. I am kind of one of those secondaries that like didn't play the games that much. Like I have played the Touhou games, but like not as much as other people. You know what I mean? Oh my god, how the fuck do I find a good logo for Touhou? I guess we'll just do Perfect Cherry Blossom. That's in my brain, that's like the standard Touhou game, you know what I mean? Like, in my brain, like, Perfect Cherry Blossom, that's like the Touhou game, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put that on there. So, I guess this will be my last game. My last game on here. I don't know how to count, that's okay. I love Touhou so much. Literally, patchouli is the reason I have purple hair. Literally. Like, you guys don't understand, but when I was designing my character with V4 Mirai, I literally just wanted to be patchouli. I wanted to be a dream traveler with purple hair. With like kind of like pajama type clothing. Like I just wanted to be patchouli. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be the patchouli VTuber. I still want to. I've been kind of toying with the idea of maybe commissioning Kuropapa for another outfit. And like just kind of finally going for that theme of like kind of like a patchouli like kind of outfit. And I might do it. I might do it. I might actually do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I would really like to. But why did my Wi-Fi cut out? Well, I don't know why my tracking died. Can you guys still hear me? You still hear me, right? Oh, there we go. I don't know why it's weird. My Wi-Fi's kind of weird sometimes at this time of day. Anyway, Touhou for me... Touhou for me was like... It's weird to be bringing it up so late into the stream because the impact that this series had on my life is insane. This series was my life for a really long time. I would cosplay Touhou, not very well, right? But I would cosplay it. My entire social life... Dude, my first games count. Fuck my life, dude. Okay, I'm gonna have to add some more games. I'm gonna have to add some more games. Touhou was like during high school, like early high school and up until college. Like it was my life, you know. All my communities that I was online in were all Touhou communities. I helped run the JP radio, the JP boards like radio, with a bunch of other people. My entire social life was just Touhou. Like I grew up on like writing Touhou fanfiction, drawing Touhou fan art, listening to Touhou music. We used to help ran the JP radio, which is honestly mostly Touhou music, right? All this stuff, like Touhou was my everything, right? Touhou was my everything growing up. All the music, everything. And I was never very good at the games. I've played almost all of them, not gonna lie. Like, I've played the PC-98 ones. I've played the fighting games. I've played all the, like, the standard PC ones. I've never gone very far. I've never been good at them, but I've played them. And... Dude! You were on... Okay. Maybe, Cyborg Stan, maybe we cross paths at some point. Because I was also on a Touhou Create Your Own Adventure website. I was also in one. Because I remember, we got kicked out of JP. And they made their, their own website for Create Your Own Adventures. Yeah. Yeah, it was like... So basically, you would write a fanfic, right? Like, the writers would write a couple paragraphs. And then, as a reply to the post, you would have like a couple options, right? The readers would vote on the options, and then whatever option won would be where the story went next, right? Yeah. It really is a small world. It really is a small world. So I like that a lot. You know, I did all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Which Touhou would you... If you can't answer yourself, then I think you're not paying enough attention. I think you're not paying enough attention if you can't answer that on your own from context in the stream already, you know? Anyway, yeah, I can't state how much I love Touhou, honestly. So I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna put it next to .hack. Right there. Alright! I have 2 games, and then I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I'm gonna leave the most embarrassing games for the end. I'm gonna leave the most embarrassing games at the end. I think you know, I think we were probably in the same kind of communities growing up. That's awesome. Alright, this one's pretty obvious, right? I don't need to talk about it that much. VR chat. I have always been a huge fan of this kind of metaverse game, right? The community, the user-created content, the user-created events. This has always been a constant. This is basically the evolution of my love for MMOs as an adult. My love for having social spaces in MMOs just evolved into, you know, being a VR chat player, basically. I'm gonna put this small right here. And then, the last one, I only have like 5 minutes, so I gotta fucking hurry up. The last one, and this is the most embarrassing one, but I can't not include this because this game was like my everything for an entire decade. This game was like my absolute everything for an entire decade. And I'm a little embarrassed to admit, I played the ever-loving fuck out of Second Life. When I first got money as an adult, as a teenager even, my first job, all my extra money, it all went to Second Life. I have spent thousands of dollars on Second Life throughout, you know, in the last 10 years that I played it. I don't play it anymore. I haven't played this game in like, I don't know, 6-7 years. But I had thousands upon thousands of hours in Second Life. I spent thousands of real-life dollars on Second Life. Everything. It was my everything. It was my everything. Second Life is like VR chat, except it's not VR. It's a metaverse game, which meant that all the content in this game is user-created. Everything. It's just a metaverse game, so it's just a virtual universe, right? It's just a virtual universe. And for me, it was an expression. I would play dress up. I would build land. I would build like areas. I was really into like building stuff. It was its own client. It was its own client. It's still around. You can still play it. I just don't care anymore. I'd rather play VR chat nowadays, you know? I'd rather play VR chat nowadays. But yeah, it really is the second life to VR chat pipeline. For real. But it really was the pipeline from like MMOs to metaverse games, because the thing I always loved the most about MMOs was like the social aspect. Second Life was basically that without any sort of like real gameplay, right? It was just a game where you could create your own world and be in it, right? So I played that so much, you guys. So much. When I became an indie VTuber, my VTuber was actually not many people know this, but like when I first became a VTuber back in the indie days, her design was just my Second Life character. It was literally just my Second Life character. I just made her into a VTuber, and that's how I started VTubing. Like I just took her design and took that, right? That's how much I loved this. Second Life has kind of a bad reputation because it was full of, you know, kind of like cringe furries and cringe ERPers. And yeah, it was, but despite that, there was a lot of beauty in it. If you were kind of willing to... If you were willing to dig around, there was a lot of beautiful stuff. There was a lot of really, really nice stuff, you know? And I'll always really love it for that. I made a lot of friends, I made a lot of memories. Some of my favorite bands I discovered in Second Life. It was just really special. It was super special. I wish I could talk more about it. But one of these days I will just do a Second Life stream. It's banned on Twitch. It's not banned on YouTube. So one of these days I will literally just do a stream exploring some of Second Life. And I think it'll be fun. I don't have an active account anymore. I lost my old account, so it's not like I have my old stuff or anything anymore. I lost contact with all the people, right? But it's banned on Twitch because Second Life has a lot of porn in it. It has a lot of adult content, right? You didn't grow up with the GameCube? I did, but none of the... I love Animal Crossing, but I wouldn't say Animal Crossing defined me. You know what I mean? And I didn't have that many games on the GameCube. I did have a GameCube, but I only had like 2 games on it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I do love the GameCube, but like the games I played it, while I do love them, I do love Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, I love Animal Crossing, I love all the games I played on the GameCube. I didn't play that many, and I didn't play them for that much. So they didn't leave an impact as much as all these other games, you know? Because these are games, some of these are games that I grew up with, some of these are games that I played as an adult. Like, some of these, like, I played Lack of Love, like, as an adult. Like, I played that game maybe 4 years ago. Like, you know? Like, 3-4 years ago. I did get Animal Crossing, and I did play it, and I did love it. But, like, I'm not as attached to Animal Crossing as I am to these games. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not as attached to these games as I ever was. Or I'm not as attached to Animal Crossing as I ever was to the rest of these games. These are games that have like... They've had like a really profound... Just kind of like... impact on my life. You know? So that's why these games are here. There's unfortunately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oops. 14 games on here. It's exactly 10 games. Yeah. Exactly 10 games. I can't count. It's fine. I'm an artist, not a math person. Alright, and it is 4 PM, so I gotta get the fuck out of here, you guys. So, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to post this on Twitter. No Zelda, no Pokemon, no Metroid, no Smash? No, bro. Everybody's video game journey is different. You know? Like, these are the games I grew up with, and these are the games that I like the most. So, I'm sorry. Sorry if there's no Pokemon. Sorry if there's no Zelda. Sorry if there's no Metroid. Sorry if there's no Smash. I played those games, but they didn't have, you know, the kind of impact that these games did, you know? Like, I like them a lot, but they weren't... They didn't impact the rest of my life like these games, you know what I mean? Anyway! Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. The meeting today is mandatory. I gotta get out of here. Who's live that I can raid you guys into? Hold on. Honestly, I'm not that big of a Nintendo fan. Like, I like Nintendo, but they're not... I think I like Sony stuff more, to be honest. Like, I think I've always been more of a PlayStation, Dreamcast, you know, like, kind of person, you know? Alright, hold on. There's a lot of other games I could put on this list, but, you know, we're already past the 10. There's only so much I can do. Only so much I can do, you know? Hold on, I'm trying to get to my freaking dashboard so I can end the stream. Here we go. Top 10 anime that define me. That's an interesting one. I hope you guys like this kind of stream. I decided to do this stream last minute because I really wanted to do that whole like 10 games that define me meme I've been seeing on Twitter. And I thought, why not make it into a stream? It'd be more fun to just talk about it, you know? And it would make a perfect short stream for before the meeting. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really liked it. So maybe we'll do more of this kind of thing in the future, you know? Where we can just talk about this kind of stuff. I'm going to send you guys off into... Akami! Akami's playing No, I'm Not a Human, so we'll go raid her. Hey, Akami. Akami, so thank you everybody. I love you all. I will see you maybe tomorrow? We'll see. Probably tomorrow. You'll probably see me like the majority of the days this week. I don't know. We're kind of playing it by ear right now. So, I love you all! And I will see you later! Stay with me, everybody. Oscar! I love you, bye! Love you, bye! Bye-bye!